Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair? Mr. Chair?
Yes, Andrew Williams, I think.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. That was a very good choice of yours. Mr. Chair, I'm taking a call on behalf of New Zealand First for Jackie Dean's Conservation Natural Heritage Protection Bill. We have said in the previous reading that we would be supporting this bill. We believe it has a lot of merit in terms of what it tries to achieve. I have mentioned in this House before that we've had many instances where there has been smuggling of some of our endangered and precious creatures, including a case where German tourists smuggled or tried to smuggle 44 Northland green geckos out of the country and was caught. There was another case, that was in 2010. There was another case where some Czech botanists were convicted in 2004 for attempting to smuggle 363 wild plants, including 93 endemic orchids. And this sort of thing goes on all the time. And, of course, for all the cases that we do hear about and do apprehend the culprits, there are many that obviously go unnoticed and where people are getting away with it. Worldwide, Interpol estimates that the smuggling of wildlife and precious species is worth in the order of $10 to $20 billion. And so worldwide smuggling of precious flora and fauna is quite a big trade. And in New Zealand's case, we do have some unique species that are only found here in Aotearoa because of our isolation and because of the way we're separated from Gondwana land and the rest of the continents. And as a result, we have some species that in other parts of the world they would very dearly love to get their hands on. So this is a good piece of legislation to increase the surveillance of that and ensure that there are increased penalties for those that are caught and apprehended. Some of them are quite hefty, going from 1 to 5 years imprisonment, and particularly those who are caught who are doing it for commercial gain or commercial reward, up to 5 years imprisonment, $300,000 or $20,000 per day. And that sends a very strong message to anybody who feels that they wish to participate in the illicit trade in flora or fauna, that this is getting into fairly serious money. But sometimes, Mr. Chair, it's not always done for commercial gain. Sometimes it is done somewhat perhaps negligently. But again, people need to be aware that there are penalties if they are negligent when it comes to New Zealand's precious fauna and flora. And so there is the ability within this bill for people to be sentenced to community work and other penalties, smaller penalties, if they are caught perhaps unwittingly offending in this manner. Mr. Speaker, or Mr. Chair, we do have concerns, like some of the other opposition parties, that while this is a good move on the behalf of one National Party member to bring this to the House to help protect our environment, there are many other things that this national government are doing which are flying in the face of the environment. And when we look at some of the reforms in regard to the RMA, and now particularly as we're moving towards Part 2 and Section 6 and 7 of the RMA, we have some grave concerns in that area of the environment. And so we would hope that, that we're not seeing a double standard here from the government in terms of a good member and a member on our Local Government Environment Select Committee doing a good job to bring this to the House to improve the standards. We certainly don't like the idea that on the other side of the ledger the same government is perhaps pulling the rug out from other aspects of the environment. We do stand by our pride in having a 100% pure New Zealand image and branding, and internationally trying to be respected for that. So it is important that we maintain that high level. And in that respect, we do have some concerns this very week about what is occurring in terms of the Minister of for the Environment, for Conservation, Nick Smith, and what's happening in that whole saga. And so therefore we are seeing some double standards perhaps coming through, which we certainly don't condone and we do not wish to see. However, we do applaud the member Jackie Dean for bringing this to the House. It is overdue. There have been now quite a considerable number of years where things have occurred, where people have got away with various things, Mr. Chair? Mr. Chair?
Andrew Williams.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to conclude, and we think as a result that this can only serve to further the good work that's being done in the area of conservation and environment, and we certainly support it. New Zealand First will be following this through.
Mr. Chair. Claudette Hauiti.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This bill sets out to better protect our